The standard sugarcane farm is probably the worst sugarcane farm. So today, I'm going to take you through the pros and cons of a bunch of different designs, and then I'm going to show you how to build two of them. So let's jump down and get into it. Welcome to my redstone testing world. These are all the farms we're going to be looking at today, but let's first pay attention to this blue one. This is your standard sugarcane farm. I've just scaled it up to be 64 plants. It's fairly expensive at about 4 stacks of redstone to build, as well as a stack of quartz. So now let's look at some of the stats for it. I ran all the farms for 10 hours, and for the normal farm, we have gotten 116 per hour. That puts this farm at just under 2 stacks an hour. For rockets for elytra, that's plenty. But there's a much better farm that is both faster and cheaper, right behind me over here. If we fly over to this red farm, it's actually designed by Tango Tech. He released this farm a few years ago. It only uses 4 observers, and then 4 more to transfer it, so 8 in total. This works because each sugarcane needs 16 updates before it will actually grow, and each of these updates actually gets detected by an observer. It's much shorter, and it uses only about 2.5 stacks of redstone and a lot less quartz than its blue counterpart. Let's look at the stats for it. For the Tango farm, we're actually producing 181 sugarcane per hour. That means it's 55% increased production using less redstone, about a stack, and 56 less quartz. There's no reason not to build this farm. Alright, and to show off the fact that it's so easy to build, I'm going to do it here in survival, a very small version of it. Though I do suggest watching Tango Tech's original video. He goes into more detail and also shows how to modulate it in all directions. But for our build, we'll just need 2 stacks of any block for structure, some glass, 4 observers, half a stack of pistons, 32 dirt, some iron bars for the middle, ice for pushing out the items, a single pressure plate, 2 repeaters, a bunch of redstone, stairs and slabs for waterlogging, of course sugarcane, hopper and chest or more for your storage, enough water to make a infinite water source, and of course tools. So let's get into that. I'll sort my inventory out properly and let's go. Right, there's my inventory sorted out, a bit more manageable. I made some infinite water here. So to start off, we just need 2 rows of 8 on either side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we can just place in our ice here. Then we do the 8 on the other side. And then we can come back over here and do this 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now these ends, we want to place stairs so that it's blocking the end here. So if we waterlog that there, the water won't flow out this way. Now, and we can do that over here. And here we can place in a structure block to stop the water flowing too far away. Now what we want to do is pretty much make an infinite water source inside here. Just like so, slowly pushing it down. All water source blocks. Now we can place in our slabs and they'll all be waterlogged. So now we can grab our sugarcane and should be able to place it without problem. There we go. Alright, now that the sugarcane's all placed in, we can grab our observers, hold down shift and place them in there, and then place the ones above them. Now we can actually just fill in all these sides here for next to the sugarcane with any block that you like. Right, now that that's done, we can put in a glass block here, ready for us to jump back up on later. And we just place in our pistons. Make sure you don't do the piston where the ice is. There's nothing to break. Alright, there we go. Now we just need to get some more water. So we can actually grab the water from down here. Place water there, and that will not push away the sugarcane. And we can do the same on the other side. We just need to grab our pressure plate, put that there so it doesn't allow the water to go backwards. Oops. Actually, we probably should grab it from there. Now we need to place it against the sugarcane here, and that will place the block water there. Alright, now this layer is all done. We just need to come up here, place our last glass, place our blocks against the side here so they're level with the pistons, and then one block above each of the observers. And so it looks like this. So we're up, down, up, and we just build across here like that. And we're pretty much done with this farm already. Now we just need to do the redstone and the farm will function. So we just place the redstone not everywhere above the pistons except for the ice part. We want to put our repeater there to allow the signal to be pushed along. Make sure we turn around so we're going in the right direction. Alright, done. So now this is functioning. To get it to work properly, as the pistons will actually push the items, potentially pushing them against the opposite side, the items will fly going wee and hitting this side and just landing on the dirt here. We can place some iron fencing that will help allow the items to drop into the water instead of flying away. Alright, now that the farm's pretty much done, we can grab some glass, or any block really, and get our tunnel to our items. So we just place down, for example, a chest here and a hopper. So place a chest there and then a hopper into the back of it. And we can probably put a slab. If I had another stair, it would be ideal. But what we can do is place a slab there. Stop the items falling too far away, and now we can get access to them still. It can be helpful to place a second layer up so that the items doesn't fly away, and we need to get some more water. There we go. Alright, so now the items, when they break, will get put into this chest. Okay, I've sped up time for a little bit, and you can see there's a few grown here. Oh, there we go. Alright, and so, yeah, some will sit there and wait for the other observed ones to get triggered, but as you can see, in probably like, I don't know, it's about 30 minutes, 20 minutes of time, we've acquired quite a few already. Now, of course, this is pretty small, but you can scale this up, and if you're not paying attention to this, you actually get quite a lot, even with this small farm. Anyway, it's now time to move on to some of the other farms. They are definitely faster, but they do have some drawbacks. So in my opinion, this is the best design for most people who are not trying to go to get insane amounts of sugarcane, or don't mind, or don't want to spend a ton of materials. So let's head over and see some other designs. Okay, welcome back to the redstone world, and now we're looking at this magenta farm. This is a farm designed by iCraft MC. Now, this is his solution to, how slow sugarcane farms are normally. Like, this was his solution for the standard. Let's look at the stats of it, and then I will give you my opinion of what I think of it. Okay, for the 10-hour test, the iCraft MC farm pulled in 233.9 sugarcane per hour, which is definitely an upgrade over the Tango Tech farm. Well, this does put this farm much faster than the Tango Tech farm. However, I do have some problems with it. Namely, this daylight sensor trigger mechanism up the top. It's entirely not needed. Obviously, we can just use the observer trick with the sugarcane here. And since this has already got the redstone above it, it's pretty much ready to be set up like that. All we would do is just place that there, here, and oops. And then just place the blocks above and we're done. Like, we've got the system set up, ready for it. But I'm not doing that because it's not my design. And with that, it also means that at certain times, believe it, during night, this won't trigger that often, which means there'll be a lot of sugarcane at the second level just waiting. And every time, for every moment that this is at the second level and hasn't been broken, is a wasted time that the first level can be growing to get to the second level. So it's just wasted sugarcane. On top of that, this whole hopper system underneath is a huge waste of time. Well, rather than resources. It takes a lot of stuff to set this up, and Yeah, I would personally not build this farm. If I'm going to go for this kind of expense, I would be building this, a flying machine farm. And on that topic, let's look at the stats of the flying machine. Alright, and for the 10-hour test for the flying machine, we can see that it got 394 sugarcane in an hour, which is much faster than the iCraft MC1. Okay, so this does put this one way above any of the others. Now, to make it fair, I have made most of these similar sized. This one I designed to be specifically the same size as this in terms of mostly the same footprint. But obviously it can hold a lot more sugarcane and yeah, well, it can grow a lot more. The downside, of course, is the having to set up the flying machine, not to mention how they can break if you leave the area when it's running. Like, it can just be stuck in the middle here. But of course, it is technically cheaper in a sense, or in some ways, because we use a lot less pistons and a lot less observers. Now, I want to address another thing that I did forget about that, is the use of mud. So with mud, you can actually have the sugarcane growing on the mud, and mud is technically slightly shorter than other blocks, which means if I drop this sugarcane here, it actually gets picked up by the hopper. So we got 2 here, and we can just drop both, and we get 2 back again. This is really good. The problem is, for example, in this farm, this is 64 sugarcane. I would need 64 hoppers. That is horrible. A single minecart hopper like this is equivalent to about 24 regular hoppers in terms of lag. So it's much smarter to just build something like this. So, out of them all so far, the flying machine is beating them all, but there is one last contestant, and it's my own personal design. It's not the most efficient design in terms of like cost, but it is the last design. So let's look at the stats of my orange one. And for the 10 hours for this design, we have achieved 427 sugarcane, which is faster than all the other farms so far. So yeah, this is the fastest farm, but it is incredibly silly and expensive. It's designed like a pumpkin farm, if you haven't noticed. We have the pistons above pushing what would be the pumpkins, but in this case, it's the sugarcane. It's an extra height, of course, and we've got the Tango Tech style of observers to trigger it. There's not much else to say about this. It triggers very often, and we get lots of sugarcane. But the reason why I think it's faster than the flying machine is because the flying machine does block the sugarcane it's growing. Other than that, I'm not sure why it's quite a bit faster. Yeah, I have no idea. I guess maybe it's just there's less time for the second layer sugarcane to be sitting like this, which does increase the speed a bit. But this can be sized up. We could add 2 or 3 layers of slime on the outside of these arms, and we could have the farm out here, and that would only cost us a few extra slime blocks. Whereas if I wanted to do increase the size here, I'd be spending like another 100 pistons, and yeah, not only is that a little bit more lag, it's also 100 plus more iron and redstone and all that. Either way, I will show you how to build it. I do recommend the Tango Tech personally, if you're worried about the cost and you don't need tons, and if you want tons of sugarcane, I still recommend the flying machine. But if you have tons of stuff and you don't want to deal with flying machines breaking on you, then I guess this is the one to go for if you're looking for just a mass amount of sugarcane. You want to trade with a billion, you want to trade a billion paper to villagers. Who am I to judge you? Let's go build this. I'll do a smaller version though. To finish off this jam-packed video, we'll do the last tutorial in survival again. Now this one needs a lot more materials, and I'm not even sure I have enough here, but we have several stacks of a structure block, a stack of observers and pistons, lots of glass, oak leaves, dirt, levers to power powered rails, lots of rails, redstone, and stuff like that. So first, let's do the collection system. Okay, so we'll start with the storage system. So we'll get a hopper in like that, and then we'll have a block behind it like this, and then we'll go up one like that. From here, we need to grab the comparator at the back, put a piston there with a redstone torch on top, redstone torch on top of that, and then redstone dust there. All right, so that will power this rail, which will go up into the rest of the farm here. And all that will do is once an item's in here, it will turn off. And then hold the cart in there until it's empty. So we actually need a chest here soon, but for now we'll just have to deal with that. So I don't know how big I'm actually going to make it. I don't want it to be very big at all. You guys will get the point. So I think we'll just leave it at something like this. So we'll have it in this 3. Yeah, that would be good enough. So what we'll do is we need the levers for this, unfortunately, and I can't get down there, so I have to make a tunnel. So we'll make it the same size across. Unfortunately, this does mean that if I don't get the dimensions right, some of the space will be wasted for the sugarcane because of how we need to set it out, how the pattern will work. Either way, this is how we build the collection area. You don't need to use big redstone blocks to power your rails. Just like that is plenty enough. So we'll just keep doing this in this sort of pattern, and I'll skip to the end. Alright, and on this last one we want to put a powered rail here, and then a block on the end like that, and then a final lever. So then the minecart will go up and back, hit that, bounce back and come back, and start the whole process. Okay, so now we can build the actual farm. We'll probably have to just build our way up like that. Now for the actual design, actually I have to get back down. We need the materials for this now, so we don't need any of these anymore. But we do need the materials for that, and the water. Alright, so for this we need to actually have a certain pattern with our waterlogged blocks. So it's easiest to start on the corner, and it's every 3 blocks like this. So this is where a problem comes in of the dimensions I've built it at. Ideally, I think I would go back another set of blocks. Actually, no, there you go. All right, perfect. We got it right. So now we alternate dirt with leaf like this, and then we do the same. This is a full dirt strip, and then over here we do the same. So it will start to look like that. So we have a strip of pure dirt, and then alternate grass, leaves, another strip of pure dirt, and then another alternate. Now this should cover everything. So now we need to just grab some water and waterlog all these. That's all the waterlogging done. Now we can put in the sugarcane. I did forget to grab some, but luckily this farm has been producing in this time. So we've got plenty of sugarcane. So now we can put this down. Alright, so now we need to put the actual machine in. So at the end, I will be doing the observers here. It's going to be a little tricky, so what we'll have to do is just build off like this, just to make it easier on ourselves. And just make sure they're facing the right way. Yep. So there we go. Now we just build the observers on top like that, and we're pretty much got the hardest part out of the way. Well, actually, that's not quite true. We need to go up another block like this and actually start putting in the pistons. So it's a pretty simple pattern. We'll go 2 across and then down and then 3, like a zigzag almost, like that. And you can just double check to make sure the gaps are where the water is here like this. Yep. So we'll just continue like that. So we'll go here, like that. So we'll go to gap there. So we just continue like that. And we end up with a bit of a pattern like this. So here will be 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then a gap, and then 1, 2, and then what would be 3. So then here we got 1, 2, 3, gap, 1, 2, what would be 3. And we just repeat this the whole way across. It's pretty simple. Once you've got them all down like this, we can, of course, jump on the top and look down to make sure we have got it all correct. So we'll just grab the glass here to build our way up. And we can just double check, looking in to make sure we haven't got them in the wrong spots. And it looks all good. Alright, so we'll build up our glass. Like this. Alright, and now we can fill the top in, and you can already hear them firing off. Now I'll just do that. Probably could have had the glass there. It looks nicer. So there we are. Alright, so now we just need to put the redstone here. We just put redstone on every block up here apart from the glass. And this farm is pretty much done. We just now need to put in the glass on the outside to stop the sugarcane escaping. Alright, there we go. That is the farm pretty much complete. We just need to get the minecart hopper in, which I did forget to include in the chest, unfortunately. I'm very sorry about that. There we go. Alright, so let me go grab a minecart hopper. Okay, I just gave myself a hopper and a minecart. So what we'll do is we'll put a chest in here. There we go. Now we can send off the hopper minecart. Off it goes, and it will start to collect up stuff, and we should already have a bunch to collect. Or maybe not, actually. I probably would have picked it all up. Yeah, we didn't have a bunch. But, yeah, this will just collect a whole bunch in some time. If I speed up time, and we just wait an hour. So I'll be back in an hour, because this is going to be noisy. You guys don't want to be around for it. Welcome back. It's been an hour, so let's just have a quick look. So in an hour, we've gotten a stack of 26, so almost a stack and a half. And for this one, which almost looks like a, I don't know, some sort of lab thing, this has got a stack and 44, so only a little bit more. Now this does have a little bit more sugarcane, so it's got 5 in each area, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and that's got 32. So it's got a little bit more, but it is, of course, a lot more vertically less space efficient. But of course, you would never build it that small. If you're interested, I have a 5 storage video that's a little old, or you can go check out my more recent topic about the current mob vote. I will see you guys later. Goodbye.